Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, taped testimony from 10 of former President Trump's closest advisors being shared by the House Select Committee today.
Plus, a look at the damage left behind after a tornado tears through parts of southeast Nebraska.
But first, temperatures soaring across the state today. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Boy, a scorcher on this Monday. Temperatures reaching the triple digits in several parts of the state.
And some spotty storms could be possible in some places. Let's kick things off by checking in with Chief Meteorologist John Dissauer. John?
Yeah, it has definitely been warming up outside this afternoon. Lincoln making it up into the triple digits, and because of that, we can say one thing, Megan. It is hot outside. Because, of course, I don't say it's hot until we hit 100 degrees. Let me take you to a live view right now from Allo Communications, and I can confirm, yes, it is hot out there. Temperatures, in fact, as of the 5 o'clock hour, we've just broken the record, the previous record in Lincoln. It's now 103 degrees, the old record 102 set back in 1952. It's 97 degrees in Beatrice, 101 in Hebron, and 102 degrees in both Grand Island as well as in Kearney. Also not listed on there, but I know Hastings also broke the record today. They hit 101 the last time I saw, the old record being 100 degrees. It is humid out there, with dew points in the lower to mid 60s. Not as bad in some locations, for instance, down towards Hebron, where the air is slightly less humid. We've got a heat index right now of 105 in Lincoln. Last hour, it felt like it was 107 degrees. Feels like it's 100 right now in Beatrice, and it feels like 106 out towards Aurora. As we go through the rest, or I should say also winds are still gusting out of the south, upwards of 25 to nearly 40 miles per hour as we head in towards the evening hours. For the rest of this evening, 101 by 6, 97 degrees at 8. Take a look at the 10 o'clock temperature. Still holding on to 90 degrees. Our normal high is 85, normal low is 62, nowhere near either one of those. We'll talk about how cool, or really how warm we stay tonight. And we've got another warm, mugly day coming tomorrow. The details in my Storm Alert Team forecast.
John knows anything over 80 is hot to me. So
for him, it has to be 100 or more.
Yep.
100 or more, yep.
All right, thank you, John. Well, over the weekend, parts of southern Nebraska hit by a tornado.
Yeah, Wymore got the worst of the storm on Saturday evening, and cleanup efforts are going on today. Channel 8's Yosef Nasser stopped by Wymore this morning and joins us with more. Yosef?
Good evening, Rod and Megan. I can confirm that it is indeed hot outside, but people are out cleaning storm damage down in Wymore, as the storm did damage to homes, trees, and knocked out power in the area for several hours on Saturday. Peak winds of 104 miles an hour. And as you can see, this is from this morning, the streets of Wymore still lined with debris. People from all over Gage County coming down to help with the cleanup. One Wymore resident tells me this weekend's storm is the worst she's seen in her 21 years living in town.
The sky was just dark, a little bit of wind coming up, started getting a little darker. My husband kind of thought it might just go right by us, and I didn't think so. I was down in Florida when Hurricane Andrew went through. I didn't feel the apartment shake the way I felt my house shake this time.
That's Wymore resident Kim Marmon. She tells me her family lost part of their roof as well as 2 windows. Additionally, their power went out and they had to get a new refrigerator after the storm knocked out their compressor. But she says she's counting her blessings that the storm was not worse and that her family is safe. More tonight on the Wymore storm cleanup effort tonight at 6.
Thank you very much, Yosef. Looking forward to the rest of it later on. Now to Washington, where the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol held its second public hearing.
The committee playing taped testimony from former President Trump's top allies. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more from Capitol Hill.
The House Select Committee using taped testimony from 10 of former President Donald Trump's closest advisors, presenting evidence Trump knew he'd lost the election, but continues claiming even to this day it was stolen from him. Baseless allegations of voter fraud, the committee says, emboldened Trump's supporters to attack the Capitol on January 6th. In this pre-recorded interview, former Attorney General Bill Barr detailing the multiple meetings where he told Trump his claims of election fraud were bogus.
I thought, boy, if he really believes this stuff, he has, lost contact with he's become detached from reality.
Several other former top aides, including Jason Miller and Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, testifying they cautioned the former president against listening to attorneys Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell, who were peddling election conspiracy theories. Miller and Trump's 2020 campaign manager, Bill Stepien, saying they were ignored by Trump.
My recommendation was to say that It's too early to tell, too early to call the race.
And did anybody who was a part of that conversation disagree with your message?
The president disagreed with that.
The committee also calling renowned Republican election attorney Ben Ginsburg, who represented George W. Bush during the 2000 recount. Ginsburg telling the committee the Trump campaign's claims were far-fetched.
The 2020 election was not close. The most narrow margin was 10,000 and something in Arizona, and you just don't make up those sorts of numbers in recount.
The House Select Committee also delving into how Trump and his allies allegedly raised money on these false claims of election fraud, bringing in roughly $250 million in donations. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, the Capitol.
And staying in Washington now, the Supreme Court decision on potentially overturning Roe v. Wade could come down this Wednesday.
After not being included in today's announcements, justices still have dozens of opinions that are expected to be delivered in the next month before summer break. A leaked draft opinion indicates that 5 justices were ready to wipe away the 50-year-old precedent set by Roe v. Wade. The court is also taking up constitutional challenges to gun safety laws. Here locally, some high school students are taking on the role of state senators at the unicameral youth legislature this week.
That's right. Student senators will be sponsoring bills. They'll have committee hearings and they'll be debating, just like the real thing here. It's for students who have an interest in public office, government, politics, law, maybe even debate or public speaking. And they'll be learning about the inner workings of the legislature directly from senators and staff. A $1 million donation has been made to the University of Nebraska Foundation.
It's to help get the Experimental Learning and Career Development Center going at UNL. The goal is to improve graduation rates and career readiness for students. Thatcher and Shannon Davis's donation will also help improve recruitment of staff and hiring a career coach. The new development center will be a central hub for experiential learning, career counseling, internship placement, and a gathering place for students. And speaking of UNL, congrats to a former journalism graduate for winning a sports Emmy.
That's right. Chris Swihart has been working with ESPN college football since 2002. He received the Emmy for his work on the technical team for the college football national championship between Alabama and Georgia. Congratulations to Chris. And also a shout out tonight to a former Husker coach.
Paul Sanderford will be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in an upcoming ceremony. In a ceremony in Knoxville, Tennessee, Sanderford, who is the former Western Kentucky and UNL women's basketball coach, will be inducted into the Hall of Fame for women's basketball. Sanderford served as the Huskers head coach from 1997 to 2002. In consumer news, as inflation continues to impact grocery stores and gas stations, it'll also be impacting fair food this year at the Nebraska State Fair.
The executive director of the fair says they're doing everything they can to keep prices low, but she says what they're paying for everything from food to takeout containers and cups has gone up. They weren't specific on exactly how much of an increase we might see in some of these things, but the fair is set to go through August, starting August 26th through September 5th. And many of you have seen an increase, of course, in food prices every time you go to the grocery store.
And that includes your favorite loaf of bread. Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the drought in the Great Plains have created tight grain supply. Suppliers are warning that you might start to see higher prices on wheat, pasta, and flour the next time you're at the grocery store. The supply crunch won't bring empty shelves, but could push higher prices that could truly impact poorer countries. And everyone knows gas prices are climbing and have already passed record highs.
The White House claims it's because of the war in Ukraine. It says oil companies could help reduce costs, but they have an incentive to keep their current status quo.
The oil companies are doing really, really well right now based on some of the worldwide disruptions that we're seeing. The big 5 oil companies in the United States in the first quarter of this year posted $35 billion in profits. That's 4 times the profits that they made in the first quarter of the last year. So these restrictions that are causing prices to go up at the pump, that's been very, very good for the oil and gas companies. And they have an incentive to hold back a little bit on increasing the supply of oil because they're doing so well right now.
There are 9,000 federal permits to drill, but most are going unused. President Biden has proposed policies that would force oil companies to increase production, and the White House says that includes on federally leased land. And the latest now on the war in Ukraine and people bravely struggling to get back to some sort of normal life.
All while an intense battle rages in the east. ABC's James Longman has the very latest.
War hangs over this whole country, but in Kyiv, a weekend at the beach made life feel normal at least. Locals flocked to the banks of the Dnipro River, even if the threat of airstrikes still looms. A different story on this Odessa beach, where an explosion left one person dead. But in the east, the war rages with even greater intensity. Ukraine desperately trying to hold on to the Donbass region, but it's a struggle. They say Russia has 10 times their firepower. The epicenter of the fighting, the city of Severodonetsk. But now Russian forces reportedly control most of the city. Russian state media showing this video of smoke pouring into the sky. President Zelensky saying his troops are fighting literally for every meter. Russia driven to take territory whatever the cost. Troops in Mariupol show off their colors in front of a city sign. Russia flying its flag in occupied territory as it looks to consolidate control, what's been called Russification in occupied regions. In some places, they've even staged Russia Day celebrations, like this parade held in Crimea. And in Russia itself, a new version of McDonald's. The fast food giant closed all its locations, and so a new Russian owner opened a replacement over the weekend. The new name, Tasty, and that's it. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will visit Europe this week to discuss this crisis. Ukraine says we are at a critical point because Russia is badly outgunning Ukraine. James Longman, ABC News in Dnipro.
Still to come on the news tonight, 31 men believed to be linked to a white nationalist group arrested over the weekend.
That and details on your next chance for storms after the break.
Now to Idaho, where 31 members of the right-wing extremist group called Patriot Front were arrested on charges of conspiracy to riot at a local Pride event.
ABC's Morgan Norwood has more as officials from coast to coast are on heightened alert for an increase in threats connected to Pride Month.
31 men believed to be linked to the right-wing extremist group, the Patriot Front, now facing charges after authorities say they plan to riot at a weekend Pride event in Idaho.
My guess is that since there was so much rhetoric online about the two opposing groups exercising their viewpoints and things of that nature, that this became a flashpoint.
Authorities charging the group with conspiracy to commit a riot. The individuals pouring in from 11 other states, including Texas, Washington, Colorado, and Arkansas. They were dressed in matching attire, white mask, blue shirts, and khakis, also wearing Patriot arm patches and logos, and armed with riot gear, according to police. Authorities also say they had shields and at least one smoke grenade.
These were not law enforcement officers that we arrested. These were members of the hate group Patriot Front. These were not Antifa in disguise, nor were they FBI members in disguise.
Police say they found documents laying out the group's plan for a riot, as well as a location of a park where the gay pride event was being held.
It's kind of terrifying and horrifying.
But also counter to the message of inclusion.
Pride means is freedom and equality.
Did you guys call the cops?
But it's not just in Idaho. In the Bay Area, California, police say a group of 5 men believed to be a part of the Proud Boys disrupted an LGBTQ event for kids at the San Lorenzo Library. Law enforcement around the country now on heightened alert.
We are seeing that both anti-government extremist groups as well as white nationalist groups are focused on June being Pride Month. You have extremist groups that view this as an opportunity to create havoc.
And all 31 individuals who were arrested over the weekend have since bonded out of jail. The FBI, though, now assisting in that investigation. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dissauer.
I can say it, it is a hot day around the region. If you've watched, you know I don't say it's hot until it hits triple digits, and we are in fact into the triple digits across much of the region. We're taking a live look off to the south. You'll notice the camera bouncing a little bit. We've got winds gusting 30 miles per hour. But take a look at these temperatures around this capital city. Right now, officially at the airport, 103 degrees, which, by the way, sets a new record for the state. The old record was 102, set back in 1952. So we broke that. It's 102 at East Campus, 103 on the east side of town, 102 on the south side of town, and a cool 100 degrees along Denton Road on the southwest side of town. Head further south towards Beatrice. It is just a bit cooler. You did make it to 100 degrees this afternoon. It's 99 right now in Hebron, 102 in Grand Island. We set a new record in Hastings today as well, the old record being 100 degrees back in 1952. We hit 101 out in Hastings this afternoon. And factor in the humidity, we have heat indices well into the triple digits. It feels like it's 105 in Lincoln, and it feels like 106 in Aurora. Last hour, it was feeling like 107 in Lincoln. And I went back and I took a look. The number of days we've had reaching 107 degrees or higher in the heat index in the last 2 years. Well, July 29th of last year, we had 1 hour at 111 degrees. But today is the second highest in the last 2 years at 107. We also reached 107 August 9th of last year and July 28th of last year as well. So some of the highest heat indices we've had in some time. Now, as we go through the evening, in fact, this should probably be closer to 101 instead of 99 for the forecast for this evening. But we'll see our temperatures not cooling off very much as we go through the overnight hours. I expect lows to be in the middle to upper 70s for most of us. In the city of Lincoln itself, it may struggle to cool below 80 degrees. Now, as we go through tomorrow morning, we'll notice a couple clouds early on. It's going to be windy tomorrow morning as well, with some gusts to 35 miles per hour until a front begins to pass through the area. That front will then start to lift back to the north as we head in towards the evening. Temperature-wise, tomorrow is going to be another warm day. I think we hit 96 in Lincoln, 99 in Beatrice, 95 in Seward, but you can see where the winds are out of the northwest. That does cool things down just a little bit. Upper 80s out towards Kearney, 90 for a high in Grand Island. We're talking 100 degrees in Omaha, 98 degrees in Nebraska City. And again, in the morning, we'll have winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. Once the winds shift around to the northwest, you'll notice the winds begin to decrease. Now, let's talk about the heat index, because it's still going to be humid tomorrow. You'll notice by noon, heat index is up into the 90s. As we head towards late afternoon, we're once again going to see triple-digit heat indices, or the feel-like temperature. It could feel like 100 101 in Lincoln, feel like 101 in Beatrice. Now, the other thing we're going to watch is for the potential for some thunderstorms to develop tomorrow evening. Probably not until later into the night. So sometime right around 9, 10 o'clock, I think we'll start to see some thunderstorms develop out towards the central part of the state, and these will develop into a line. We'll have to watch. Some of these could be strong to severe. And I should also note, a couple of computer models have this shifted farther south and east by about 70 miles. So it's not that we can completely rule out the chance in Lincoln. This stormcast, though, keeps it mainly north of I-80 into the late night hours. And as far as rainfall amounts out of this, if you get under thunderstorms, you can see 1 to 2 inches of rain. Also, the potential for some large hail is there. Otherwise, 7-day forecast, again, where you see the HX, that means the peak heat index each day. So it's going to feel like it's in the upper 90s across on Thursday and Friday. So we head in towards the weekend. We're looking for temperatures to keep climbing. 97 degrees on Saturday, 97 degrees by Sunday. Heat indices this weekend back in the lower 100s. 102 on Sunday for Father's Day. 100 degrees for an air temperature on Monday with a heat index slightly higher of 101. So definitely we're not done with the heat by any means. Our cooler day comes on Wednesday with highs in the upper 80s.
Oof.
For all the dads out there, get ready for a hot Father's Day.
Make sure you got a cool drink.
Yes.
For you on Sunday. Maybe you can get the kids to get some fans and fan you with leaves or something.
Or maybe a day of relaxation at the pool for Dad.
Or slip and slide.
There you go.
I like slip and slide.
You're a fun dad.
I know.
All right, thank you very much, John. More consumer news now. Wall Street begins the week with a bumpy start, the Dow dropping 876 points.
Dipping back into bear market territory today. What exactly is a bear market? Well, it's when stocks drop 20% from a recent high, and most of the time, though, the best gauge to look at this is a broad market like the S&P 500. The bear market doesn't always indicate a severe economic downturn or a recession, but it can take nearly a year for stocks to fully bounce back.
So here's a closer look at some of those numbers. Again, the Dow down 876 points. NASDAQ also going negative by about 531. Here are your numbers. We'll be right back.
Finally tonight, Uber has released its annual Lost and Found Index, and it includes everything from tater tots to grandma's teeth. The most common items left behind by rideshare passengers includes phones, wallets, keys, and ordinary items carried in their pockets.
But the bizarre things left behind include tater tots, caviar, a pet tortoise, a bucket of slime, just to name a few. The most forgetful passengers live in Austin, Texas, but Phoenix and Atlanta also made the list. Uber releases the list every year to remind its customers that they can use their app to get their lost and found items back. The cost is $15 to cover the driver's time and effort. Of course, rideshare passengers will have to decide if the left behind tater tots are worth it or if they're cold by now.
Or grandma's teeth. I mean,
that's worth it. Then grandma can't eat the tater tots without the teeth.
Or retainers, because of the price of those things. They're definitely worth it. But I'm surprised anybody's actually collecting and saving the tater tots, though.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah. Hey, around here this year, you could leave them in the car tonight and keep them nice and warm for sure. Yes, the inside of cars are very warm. The heat index right now, 105 degrees, 106 is what it feels like right now in Aurora. For the rest of this evening, 101 at 6, 97 by 8, and 90 degrees by 10.
All right, thank you, John. Thank you for joining us.
World News Tonight is up next. We'll see you back here at 6.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
At Comfort Made Mattress Factory, we build each mattress specifically for you, right here in our locally owned store. We can even make his side different than hers, backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing